I literally sat there the other day with Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab. He's like 100 years old and has no idea what's going on in the world. But he's like one of these guys who, speaking of mediocre, everyone's so afraid of Klaus Schwab. I don't think Klaus Schwab is going to be organizing anything again. He's just like a total figurehead. And he starts talking about it in his way, in his accent. He's saying, I think it's so important that we follow in an ethical way. Always in an ethical way, of course, very ethical. I'm a very ethical man.
To redefine the moral scope of the capitalistic system.
Using technology to improve the human mind and implant the chips in the brain.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains? You all will have implants. We measure your brain waves.
You have no idea what you're talking about. You're like as senile as Joe Biden. What was so striking is that no one in the room was like, wait, what? You're fucking with people's brains? Like... like, what are you even talking about? Who do you think you are?
Good evening. How are you tonight, Moxie? Did you hear me?
I did not hear you.
Oh, maybe I need to hold this. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm okay. How are you doing? I had to think for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's been quite a few months for me, actually. Been so swamped, and this is the kind of stuff I love, and I want more time for it. But welcome everybody to Questions Worth Pondering. We are here to ask questions and shake things up and expose crazy stuff. So yeah, welcome. And if you guys like this video, please make sure to like it and share it with your friends. I see Herbie in chat and Magnolia and In God We Trust, Rocker Lady, which I think I remember Rocker Lady is red, right?
No.
Oh, shoot. You
No,
guys with your
red is Pocket Friend.
Oh, Pocket Friend is red?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Who's Rocker Lady? Is that Sammy?
It might be Sammy.
Oh my gosh, you guys! I'm so sorry.
I'm pretty sure it's Sammy.
And we have Natalie. Oh, it's Sammy. Thank you, Sammy. Anyway, there is so much happening right now. Before we start, I'm just going to give you guys the lowdown. We are going to start with current events, and then we're going to have a new segment talking about some of the things I'm passionate about. So I kind of want to make that a regular segment, maybe a short segment as a part of our regular show. And because I really think it's important to call out and be able to share clips about things that are happening with our kids, how they're targeting our kids, how they're indoctrinating our kids. It's a huge passion of mine. And so yeah, we'll start that tonight. We'll have different topics each week on that. I'm going to try to make it shorter, but what I'm going to do is clip that part out after the show and upload it to my Nev's channel. And so that way it will be easier to share just, a clip from that. So should we get started? What in the current events is the thing that's really caught your eye, Moxie?
The thing that caught my eye, especially today, was they're doing the hearings on Robert Hur's report. With that's H-U-R, Robert Hur. And
not she, her, but Robert Hur.
Yeah, and he's talking about the document scandal with Biden.
I know.
And so he's kind of laid it out. So either Biden is a fit criminal or he's an unfit president.
Ooh, I like that.
And I'd like to keep those words as my own, but actually I got that from Dan Bongino.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said today. But he's been saying it for a while, and that's what it really comes down to, is it's one or the other. There's really no in between.
Yeah, it's very true. And he laid out everything and pretty much admitted that Joe broke the law. He wasn't even the president.
Exactly. He
So,
didn't have clearance to declassify anything. So
right.
he was keeping those documents and sharing them with third parties and people who shouldn't be seeing them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's such a what's the word I'm looking for? It's such a foil. Like a foil with a diamond. You know, you put a diamond on a black background so that you can see all of the colors it does. So it enhances all of that, and that's what we're seeing with the Trump document scandal versus the Biden document scandal.
Yeah, the contrast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why? And I think they asked this in the trial. They even pointed it out. Not trial. It wasn't a trial. It was a committee meeting or whatever. So he was testifying to Congress. But why is it that they are indicting Trump when he was the president and actually had the right to have these documents, but they're not indicting Biden?
Well, they're not going to indict him because he's a sitting president. So
Well,
there's really,
and not just that, but that's not the reason they gave, right? So why is there two different? One of the things he talked about is precedent, and what they called out was, and it made it made me think of Just Human with his templates and setting precedents. So they brought that up today about how he said there was a precedent set, but what they pointed out to him is the precedent was broken when they indicted Trump.
yes.
So, yeah. So the question is, why, right? And I don't think he really answered that, but I found what's interesting is that they said that they were still investigating Biden, the intelligence community.
Absolutely.
I actually have a clip on that because there are so many clips out there today, and I know you guys have probably seen them all, but this one really interested me. I want to share it real quick for anybody who maybe hasn't seen it.
Since the release of the report, to your knowledge, has the Justice Department started to analyze a damage assessment of what may have been disclosed by these documents being mishandled and any ongoing national security risks from the inappropriate storage and retention of the documents?
Congresswoman, my understanding is that such a damage assessment is underway in coordination and cooperation with the members of the intelligence community.
Yeah, underway. They're still investigating that. So I found that pretty interesting. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, but this sure highlights the two-tier justice system. Who's barking?
That was Rocky.
Was it?
It's actually Rocky's birthday today. Rocky turned
Happy birthday, Rocky.
Rocky, come here.
Rocky, happy birthday, Rocky.
There's the birthday boy.
Hey, birthday boy. Oh, he's such a good boy. Aw, happy birthday, Rocky. He's so cute.
Thank you.
Anyway, yeah, I found that whole thing super interesting today. I was trying to catch up during breaks at work, and I wish I could have watched it, but thank God we have people like Midnight Rider and others, Absolute clipping for us. So yeah, what do you think is going to come of that? Do you think anything out of the investigations?
Honestly, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But it's not any different from anything else that we're seeing, that there's not anything coming out of anything at this point. So,
Yeah.
but patience.
Patience.
We'll see what happens.
For sure. Yeah, another big thing happening is Lara Trump was named co-chair of the RNC. So that's that. I didn't even know that it was reported that she was running, but it wasn't even on my radar until it happened. I don't know. Did you know about it ahead of time?
I did not.
Yeah. I found that interesting. And what was reported today after she took the reins. Well, she's not the head, but she's a co-chair. They started getting rid of a bunch of staffers. I've got a clip on that. I was like, woo! I was so excited when I saw that today.
And Brett, just moments ago, Fox News was able to confirm that Donald Trump's new leadership team, over at the RNC began cutting dozens of staffers from their positions. It appears a major shakeup now underway at the RNC following Laura Trump's recent ascension to RNC co-chair. We'll send it back to you.
And speaking of the RNC, the convention this year, that they're trying to get Elon Musk to speak at the Republican National Convention. Do you think he will? I don't think he will.
Probably not.
Yeah. Like all his businesses are dealing with, well, he has a lot of government contracts, but he's a tough one to figure out, you know, like he's all about the climate and his EV and, you know, the electric vehicles. And but he went and visited Trump and Trump says, oh, well, we disagree on the electric car thing. So he went and visited Trump, and a lot of people are curious about that, because I should actually, let me share my screen. I didn't have it ready to share. But yeah, a lot of people are questioning now. So Stormy Patriot Joe posted this inside paper. I should expand this headline that Trump asked Elon Musk if he wanted to buy Truth Social. Do you think this is accurate? Because it's Washington Post. So who knows? They might be throwing off the MSM. Okay. But yeah, Stormy, he said, I've been saying for years Twitter would acquire Truth Social. Big Trump and Elon meeting at Mar-a-Lago recently, and Elon said it wasn't about donations. Yeah. So kind of interesting.
Definitely.
What do you guys think? What's going on with Elon? Like they met. He said he's not donating to either party. In God We Trust says, love Lara, kicking butt and taking names. That's right. Rocker Lady says Elon is not a conservative. No, I don't think he's a liberal either, though. He's an enigma. He's definitely an enigma. So, yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen there, but, and Rocker Lady also said they didn't indict him because he wouldn't get a conviction, which is such BS. Exactly. And documents were found in Clinton's sock drawer. Was that Clinton? Yeah, it was Clinton, not Obama, right? Yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Lots of interesting things, and kind of related to this. So this is Trump asking if Elon will buy Truth Social, and then Rumble says that they are willing to buy TikTok. What's going on? All this news in one day.
Yeah, it's been insane.
Today was crazy. So yeah, Rumble sent a letter offering to join a consortium with other parties seeking to acquire and operate TikTok inside the United States. So basically, they're offering their cloud, which I posted that the Rumble cloud is going to be a game changer. So not only did they send that to TikTok, but also they announced yesterday that their cloud was launching. And I found that interesting. So you guys know I work in technology. This is so exciting to me. I am going to sign up and test it out and see how it compares to other cloud technologies. I'm going to kind of geek out on that. But yeah, I just I found that pretty interesting, especially considering the fact that Trump recently posted about TikTok and said if you get rid of TikTok, Facebook and Zucker schmuck will double their business. I don't want Facebook, who cheated in the last election, doing better. They are the true enemy of the people.
It's an interesting statement there.
Isn't it? Super interesting statement. So, and if you look at this, this was March 7th. Then March 11th, Rumble announces their cloud. Then March 12th, Rumble sends a letter to TikTok. And before Trump posted this, the reason he posted this is Congress was all upset because TikTok did a campaign asking people to contact their Congress people to say no to the bill that they're proposing for censorship. And part of that proposal is to for TikTok to sell to the US or the app would be banned. So sell it to a US person or the app would be banned. So they did a campaign asking for people to call, and people actually called.
That's awesome.
And they got annoyed, and they said, now that we had all these calls coming in, we're really going to push this forward. So they were super annoyed with that. And then Trump's response to that was, well, we don't want Facebook growing.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It is.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel like there's moves and counter moves happening right now, especially around technology.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You guys have any unique thoughts about that? It's super interesting. In God We Trust says, buckle up, friends. It's going to be crazy weird in the coming months. Geek away, Nevs. We're about to see some amazing happenings. Yeah, I haven't really had time to go geeking, and I think I might do some of that. But yeah, there's so much going on in the news. What else is going on in the news today? There's a lot.
Do you guys remember when Cassidy Hutchinson said that Trump reached for the wheel
Yes.
and tried to assault the Secret Service or whatever? So there was a hearing on that today too, and the person who was allegedly assaulted said that never happened.
Right. And I think I saw a news article, NBC or something, saying how Republicans are spinning and saying that she's lying when she really didn't. And MSM is trying to get ahead of everything. Yeah, I found it kind of interesting. What was it that I posted earlier about MSM trying to get ahead of oh yeah, it's this. So this is what I posted earlier. Coincidentally, the day before the Judiciary Committee is to question Robert Hur, which I should have brought this up when we were talking about him, a former Mar-a-Lago worker is coming forward with CNN to describe what happened with the moving of Trump's documents. They're trying to make a story out of nothing. He's basically saying things seemed kind of sus to me. It's like, okay.
It seemed kind of sus to all of us.
But isn't it interesting, the timing? So this is what I mean about, MSM trying to get ahead of things.
Mm-hmm.
So they put this out just before the Judiciary Committee is questioning Robert Hur, which is about Biden having classified documents. So it's like trying to counter. That's what I mean by moves and counter moves. Their moves really are bad, though. You would think they would put this out after the Robert Hur hearings, not before. I think they missed out on their timing opportunity. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, so Rocker Lady says that report was as being debunked by both the Secret Server and the driver. That's right. The driver also said, nope, that didn't happen. It didn't happen that way. Trump didn't try to grab the wheel. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Some news I didn't post, which I find interesting, is the Georgia judge in the Fannie Willis case is going to rule this week. And what he's ruling on is whether Fannie Lewis is disqualified from running the show. And
She should be.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think if he says yes, she is, do you think there would be a mistrial, or will the trial just continue with another prosecutor?
I don't know that they have anyone to head that up if she's not running it.
Well, I don't know why they wouldn't. They have a huge staff of attorneys, don't they?
They do, but I think that they might just drop it.
I don't know. So
I'm hoping they will.
I mean, yeah, that's hopium. I don't think that will happen. I think it will just continue. And do you really think that she was the brains behind the prosecution anyway?
Probably not.
So there's still going to be those people running this in the background, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. We've got, hey, Patriot Ranch Lady. Hello. That's from YouTube, I think. I don't know. Does it say it's from YouTube?
That's X.
Huh?
There's an X right on her picture.
Oh, it's from X. Sorry, Patriot Ranch Lady. Yes, that's from X. I didn't know we could post comments from X. That is pretty cool.
I didn't either.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Do you think Elon's going to buy Truth Social?
I don't know that he has the funding to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's sold at a break. I mean, because he's not gonna.
Well, there'd be investors, wouldn't there? Oh, you're also on Telegram? Okay. Who are you on Telegram? Do you talk to us in Telegram, Patriot Ranch Lady? Because that's where I mostly am. My plan is to go and post more on Truth Social and X, but I'm really been bad at that lately.
That's deplorable cowgirl.
What's that?
Is that deplorable cowgirl?
Is that deplorable cowgirl? Is that who this is? I don't know. You'll have to let us know.
She says she's on Telegram.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm so glad you're here with us. All right. So I covered my last thing. Oh. Okay. My lips are sealed. What is that monkey emoji where no talking? Anyway. Yeah, anything else going on in the news that you wanted to highlight, Moxie?
Trying to think. I don't think I have anything else.
Oh, okay. I do.
What you got?
All right. So, Haiti. So I said, I need to keep my eye on Haiti. There's the gang violence. Well, they called it gang violence. Who knows what it really was because it's MSM. But there were riots on the streets. I mean, the video doesn't really lie. There was a lot of violence going on. So the Haiti prime minister, he decided last Friday he was going to resign, and he announced it yesterday. So, but the interesting thing about this, why Haiti? After the earthquake, they all went to Haiti, right? They ruined the country. There was, do you remember that YouTuber who would do interviews with people? Oh, what was his name? Joseph or something? He would do interviews with people saying the Clintons came in, they ruined our country. We are not a poor country. We have a ton of resources, but they're controlling their resources, that they have a ton of gold there, gold mines. Anyway,
Yeah. I don't
so
think I was paying too much attention when that was going on.
yeah. So, oh, and I also posted earlier, the UN and Anthony Blinken went for an emergency meeting on Monday to Haiti. But then this happened, which I hadn't had time to post yet today. But the Pentagon officials anticipate mass migration of Haitians amid chaos in the Caribbean. So here we go. I find this quite interesting, how everything unfolded. They had the riots, and then the PM decides to retire amid all of that. And then Anthony Blinken and the UN go for an emergency meeting on Monday. And then today, the Pentagon announces they're expecting mass migration from Haiti.
Interesting.
That's a little curious. So here we go. Haiti again. It's so corrupt. And yes, Rocker Lady, I said it's so corrupt. And then I went to the chat and she says, Haiti is so corrupt. Very dark, very sad. Yep. And in God we trust says, I kind of think that our God is revealing the corruption in Haiti. It must be seen. Yes, it must. Magnolia thinks your doggies are adorable, by the way.
They are. They're adorable pains in the butt.
They are. I took Oliver out just before the show. And you know, he's one of those dogs where squirrel. He says he's squirrels. He like anything distracts him. If a bird flies in the sky, he has to stop what he's doing and watch it until it's out of sight. If somebody's walking down the sidewalk, he cannot focus on going to the bathroom. He has to sit and watch them till they're out of sight. So my neighbor lady was out and she had her garage open, and he got so excited. He loves people so much. It's sad. He loves people so much. And yeah, he was whining and crying, and just a naughty boy because he was so excited. So she's sitting there talking to me the whole time, and I'm thinking, I got to get ready for my podcast. You know, you get the neighbors talking. And I didn't tell her that because I don't think she doesn't know I have a podcast. So anyway, sorry, I'm digressing, but the whole Haiti thing is very interesting to me.
It is.
Very interesting. Yeah, I did post, I'm going to make this big before I share my screen. So this was an interesting post from Elon Musk. He trying to help people understand what's going on right now is like going back into a burning building to pull someone out, only to have them keep punching you in the face and demand evidence that the building's on fire, even after they admit they can see the flames.
Yeah, it's so kind of like that.
It is, right? It's so like that. It's so like that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that was something I wanted to call out. And this is definitely, that needs to be shared everywhere. I'm telling you. I'm just going to go. Oh, so there is some other news I want to talk about that I don't know if you guys are aware of. Oh, it's crazy what's going on in the world, guys. This is crazy. So Canada, they've got a bill that they're pushing forward. I don't think it's passed yet, but they want to criminalize hate. And not just criminalize it. So I have to give Vigilant Fox a huge shout out for this one because he found that. I'm going to play part of this clip. I'll probably pause it part way through because it's a little bit of a long clip and we might have commentary. on this, but it's really dystopian, very tyrannical. And let's start.
Is going to be about something we do just about every time here on this show, is talk and express emotions. So this is something in Canada that's happening, but it's not just Canada. But we'll start with Canada. Draft Canada law would force social media companies to quickly remove harmful content is the headline. And then another one out of Canadian journalists, CBC, long-awaited online harms bill proposes higher sentences for spreading hate online.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it right there. So this sounds like it's a censorship bill, which is bad enough, right? Like they want to be able to have what they consider harmful content. The harmful thing is a personal trigger of mine. If I hear that word one more time, I swear I'm going to rip somebody's head off. But just wait, because the penalties for not only speaking what they consider harmful language to somebody, but even if you might speak harmful language to people, just watch this.
It says legislation would establish a 5-member digital safety commission to enforce new rules. So here we go. Great. More government bureaucracy, as if we didn't have enough through COVID. So especially up in Canada, very interesting. So let's just go to the bill and forget about the headlines now. And let's see what the bill says. So this is Bill C-63. It's in the Canadian House of Commons. And it enacts what's called an Online Harms Act. It also amends the Criminal Code and the Canadian Human Rights Act. So it's really making some big moves in Canada. And you can go in there and it actually defines hatred. So you have a human emotion now that's trying to be legislated and controlled by.
I just want to pause it right there. Sorry for keep pausing. I am going to post the whole thing. But I have to say this. They want to define things, but this just reminds me of our show where we talked about how words and things are redefined. But look at how generic this definition is. Emotions that involve detestation or vilification, and that is stronger than disdain or dislike. How generic. Can you imagine having a law put in place that has laws against emotion? All right.
We're bordering on thought crimes here.
That's what this is. It literally is. Wait till you hear the whole thing.
The government says hatred means the emotion that involves detestation or vilification, and that is stronger than disdain or dislike. So, instead of just trying to work through,
got it, understood. Know exactly where to bowl that one.
Right, and instead of trying to just work through this with conversation, with open dialogue, the government's going to step in and say, we're going to tell you how to deal with that emotion. And so let's go further into this bill here. So it says an offense motivated by hatred. So if someone does something and they find it's motivated by hatred, this is what it says. Everyone who commits an offense under this act or any other act of Parliament, if the commission of the offense is motivated by hatred based on race, national or ethnic origin, language, color, religion, sex, age, mental or physical disability, sexual orientation, or gender identity or expression, is guilty of an indictable offense and liable to imprisonment for life.
For life. Life in prison. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh. This is going further than I think they ever would. And just as an FYI, because I won't be playing the entire thing, but I am going to continue, Ireland is doing the same thing. So this continues to talk about how Ireland is doing all of this. So Rancher Lady is shocked. Yeah, me too. All right, let's continue.
The only other thing you get imprisonment for life for pretty much in Canada is murder. manslaughter. So they're going to put that up there. If you say something, you commit a hateful offense to somebody,
Can you imagine
whatever,
saying you're angry that you just found out your kindergartner was just shown images of transgender sex change operations. I mean, these are things we've
Exactly. And this feeds into a lot of the kid stuff that I want to be talking about in the future. I'm not talking about transgender tonight. But yeah, if you're a parent and you're upset that your child was exposed to this indoctrination material, you could potentially be arrested and jailed for life.
Mm-hmm.
I know that seems extreme, like I'm overreacting, and maybe the words seem like I'm overreacting, but you saw what it said, what the bill said.
I absolutely saw it.
Oh, but wait, there's more. So let's continue.
seen in the Netherlands and England. I mean, imagine you say, wait a minute, I'm totally against that. Oh, you're being hateful? Because if you are, guess who's going to jail? I mean, that's just one example that pops in my head. There's like a million ways this could go south.
Right. Well, it can go south a lot more, and we're going to get into that right now. So in that, it's an offense. So someone could say, well, yeah, if someone's committing a criminal act, an offense, then if they're doing it in a hateful way, I don't know if anybody does a joyous offense, but they're going to tack this on for possible life imprisonment. But then it has pre-crime in there, written in there.
Pre-crime. I wanted to highlight the word he just said.
Pre-crime.
Now, there is pre-crime in here. So let's hear that.
So this is the actual language. It says fear of hate propaganda offense or hate crime. And it says a person may, with the Attorney General's consent, lay an information before a provincial court judge if the person fears on reasonable grounds that any person will commit, and that goes on to say these hateful offenses. So if
any person will commit, not has committed.
Fear
anyway,
that they will.
This is a super long video. I only played half of it. I'll post the whole thing, but I really wanted to highlight this. It's a pretty big deal if it goes through. I'm not sure if it will, and there is someone running against Trudeau that is a populist conservative and will likely get rid of all these woke things, and he's pretty popular. I think he's going to oust him. I think.
That would be nice.
It would be. I actually started getting stuff ready to post more about him because I started looking into him like, is he really? But yeah, I've got history on this guy. He for years has been fighting against the woke. I don't know what you call it, the woke movement. He was a leader in the Conservative Party in their parliament and has been speaking out for years. So he's not like just new coming up. But more to come on him. But Canada needs help. We need to say prayers, not just for Canada, but all of these Western, they call themselves democracies, but they're all socialist countries that are turning communistic. So Ireland is doing the similar things. We saw what happened with Australia and other countries that are supposedly free countries. They're becoming more tyrannical than some of the other countries are that actually have dictators. So
socialism is a slippery slope into communism.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know if we can call it communism even. Although communism is so bad, but I feel like we need a new name for what this is called because it feels very different and it's more at a global. I feel like it needs a bigger word. I don't know. I can't get my thoughts out of my head, but basically, I think it's really critical we stop this now. It just needs to stop now. So,
absolutely.
In God we trust is praying for God to heal our land. 2 Chronicles 7:14. Crazy evil is attacking us on all fronts. You're not off base, Nevs. Yeah. Amen is right. Oh, New Zealand. That was the country I was trying to think of. Yes. It was New Zealand that I'm talking about. So, yeah. Anyway, let me see what else I got here. I think I have one more thing before I move on to my other segment. Yes. And I believe I have a video to go with this too. So give me 1 second. Yes. Okay. How did you guys like the intro with Klaus Schwab? That was so good. That was so good with Tucker and Klaus Schwab. Yeah, that was good. Anyway, so this Ashley St. Clair, I'm going to share my screen 1 sec. Posted on X, and then Elon Musk reposted her. And she said Sweden placed strict limitations on medical gender affirming interventions for minors after 14 years old, but was found to have osteoporosis and spinal fractures from the puberty blockers. So the investigation into this case concluded. So this is a win for us, guys. This is something for us to celebrate. The risks of anti-puberty and hormone treatment for those under 18 outweighs the possible benefits. So they will no longer be prescribed for children in Britain. And I think some other countries are going this way. But I'm going to go ahead and play the video that goes with this.
Let's just bring you a bit of breaking news, which may be of interest to some of you. It's about puberty blockers. Now, these are drugs that are used to delay the changes of puberty in transgender youngsters. In terms of how they are prescribed by the NHS, there has been a lot of controversy over the last few years about this. At the moment, they are only prescribed to children attending gender identity services as part of clinical research, and they are not routinely offered to children at gender identity clinics, but they are still offered. Well, the government, NHS England, has just confirmed that children will no longer be prescribed puberty blockers at gender identity clinics. This is coming from NHS England. It just broke in the last few moments.
Good.
Yeah. That is a huge win for us. Something to celebrate for sure. And I'm super excited. And thank you, Magnolia, for loving the intro, and Herbie. Thanks for answering me. Yeah, so is there anything else going on in the news that you guys want us to talk about before I move on to the next segment? Those were the big highlights, at least for me, because there was so much more going on.
There was.
Eye-popping things. There's so many things going on. All right. So with that, I don't know what I'm going to call this next segment, but this is going to be something that is a personal passion of mine that I'm going to be researching separately. So this will be like a solo. I said on when I posted, this will be a solo segment. I'm going to go ahead and get started, and we're running out of time. So I hope I'll get through this stuff with you guys. But with that, Moxie, you want to hop on back when I'm done?
Sure thing.
All right. So, okay, guys, I'm not sure how this is going to go. I want your help in helping me come up with like a name for this segment, so I can name it when I upload the clips. But basically, there's a lot of attacks going against our children. They're targeting our children. So my goal for these segments that I do is to come up with some shareable content that we can expose some of these things that are happening. And then some of it might even be where we talk about solutions, things we can do to counter it. And some of it might be what I'm really interested in is finding parents who've been impacted by their schools trying to indoctrinate their children, or pushing ideologies. I really want to find parents and interview them and hear their stories, and maybe do some interviews on here as well. So if you're interested, or if you know somebody who might be interested, I would love to talk to them. And with that, for this first week, we're going to be covering, I don't know if you guys remember when we did Meme Wars, but we covered a video. Planned Parenthood is what I'm covering first. This is definitely going to be a quick segment, and there's a lot with Planned Parenthood. So tonight I'm just going to cover one of their videos that they put out that I recently showed you all. And what it is a video of a woman doing sex ed classes with for kids, basically. I am going to pull up just one of their YouTube playlists to show you kind of the things that they cover. And they're definitely gearing this material and content towards kids. The first thing is, you know, they've got a YouTube channel. And here's one of their playlists called Consent. And consent, like, how do you know if somebody wants to have sex with you? When someone definitely wants to have sex with you. And what do they show? They show two guys, right? When someone doesn't want to have sex, what is consent? So they have all these sexually related videos. And the one I'm going to cover tonight is where they question virginity. And yeah, this is going to be interesting. So I've got a few clips. I've broken out this video into very short clips, and then I'm going to do some commentary on these after. So let's start with the first clip of this full video. By the way, pay attention to her background. You're going to see the colors are geared towards kids. And I'm thinking not even just senior high kids. I mean, the bright colors, just watch.
Virginity. What is it? And what's the big deal about losing it?
Virginity. What is it? And what's the big deal about losing it? That's what she says, literally. So in other words, normalizing the premarital sex when you're a child. What's the big deal, right? Let's continue.
Let me cut to the chase. Virginity is a completely made-up concept. It's a term that was created simply to control and shame people, mainly women.
All right. So one of the things they do, this is very much a brainwashing indoctrination video. It's a made-up concept. That's what she says. But it's not a concept. It's an actual thing. Virgins are real people. Virginity is a real thing. It's not a concept. So actually, one of the things, well, I'm going to go to the next one before I pull up. So here's what I did. She's saying in here that this is a made-up concept, all of that, that it's not a real thing. And she's trying to define what virginity is. And I pulled out, I wish I had it with me so I could show you my big. So I pulled out, I have a dictionary that my parents had. So I pulled it out and I took a picture of the definition of virginity, because who knows what the online dictionaries are going to show right now. So let's hear what she says the definition of virginity is, and what the medical community thinks.
A virgin is someone who's never had sex.
Okay, she says a virgin is someone who's never had sex. And I feel like it's a lot more than that, but let's talk about what she says about the medical community.
But it's not as simple as it seems. For one thing, medically, virginity isn't a real thing.
So medically, she says that, you know, according to medical terminology, it's not a real thing. So here's the thing. Oh, I didn't save it. Okay. So on the CDC or NIH website, there is a journal published, and maybe I'll look for that while I have you guys. Maybe not. I don't want you guys waiting for me while I look stuff up. But there is a journal that was published 2022. So this is kind of interesting. She says even medically, it's not really a thing. There was a journal that was published that says pediatricians pay attention, that there is no medical terminology or definition for virginity. And this was from 2022. So they've been at this for a little while. All right. So I am going to continue, and I just have to give a little warning that if you have kiddos in the room, you might want to have them out because she's going to be talking about things that you don't want them to hear. All right.
In some cultures, people place a lot of importance on the hymen, a thin, fleshy tissue located at the opening of your vagina, as a marker of virginity.
Okay. I don't know if you paid attention, but we have to pay attention to the words they use very closely. She says in some cultures, they talk about the hymen. So she goes on to talk about how that doesn't really make a difference because, and what that is it's a membrane, like a thin layer that that all little girls are born with, and it's in place at birth, and it can be broken eventually. So let's continue because I'm totally. She doesn't know what the heck she's talking about. She doesn't know what a virgin is, and she's trying to explain that people think that when the skin is broken, that means you're no longer a virgin, and that's not true. I will pull up the definition, though.
But the status of your hymen doesn't actually mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. Well, I agree with her. It doesn't. That's not how we define it. But she's trying to say that society says that that's how it's defined. So we have to like listen to the words very carefully because the kids do. If they're watching these videos, they definitely do.
That's because having penis and vagina sex is not the only way a hymen can stretch open.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull up those definitions before I continue on. She is definitely, actually, you see the colors here in the video, and how it says Sex Ed 101 at the top. Now, when you're in school and you're doing sex education, it's usually when you're 10 or 11 years old. That's when they do it. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. All right. So there's all kinds of bright colors in here, like her Sex Ed 101. There's a few things in the background, like behind her, there's this sign that says consent, 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 consent. A little bit of subliminal messaging going on there. And then down here on the desk, look at this pencil holder. And then there's like diagrams of anatomy. But I couldn't believe, like, why would they put, I don't know if I think it's a booty, but why would they put a booty pencil holder on the desk. I just found that to be kind of annoying. All right. So the definition from my parents' dictionary. All right. An unmarried woman devoted to religion, also an absolutely chaste young woman, an unmarried girl, a person who has not had sexual intercourse. It says nothing about a hymen here. Has not had sexual intercourse. A female animal that has never copulated. Also free from impurity or stain. So it's pure. Unsullied, chaste, characteristic of or benefiting of a virgin, very modest, fresh, unspoiled, not altered by human activity. So I just wanted to call that out. And then they had virginity, which is the quality or state of being a virgin, but celibacy is called out here in the dictionary too. What she is trying to say is that the way it's defined is if the hymen is broken, or if you've only had sexual intercourse, but she says you could do other things too. So we're gonna we'll continue. I don't know where I left off. I don't remember which item I left off, so you'll have to forgive me. Oh, I see. Yeah. So here's each one of these clips is super short, but I can't even believe some of the comments on this video.
Another reason the idea of virginity is complete nonsense.
Complete nonsense. The idea of virginity is complete nonsense. If that's not trying to indoctrinate the kids and get them to normalize having sex, I don't know what is. Let's continue. I just have a few more.
Is that sex means different things to different people.
So you can define sex however you want. It means different things to different people. All right, I've got one that's a little bit longer. Wait until you see the end of this. It's just crazy.
Generally speaking, society tends to define sex in a very narrow way. Penetration, penis into vagina. But where does that definition leave queer people? Or folks who can't or don't have penis and vagina sex and choose to have oral, anal, or another type of sex instead?
I mean, I don't even know what to say to that. Just sexual activity in general is something that should be promoted. Being pure and innocent until you're married, that's like taboo these days. Anyone who thinks that is just stupid. And we have to think about queer people. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Or people that have different kind of sex, which is crazy to me. So, but the reason I'm highlighting this is what they're putting out there for our kids. Let me just continue.
It's time to throw away the notion of losing your virginity. What if instead of losing something, we reframe it as gaining? Because the truth is, when we make our own decision to become sexually active, we aren't setting ourselves up to lose anything at all. We hope we are gaining things like intimacy, self-insight, pleasure, and empowerment.
You're not losing anything. You're gaining. Do you realize that? Can you believe that? So why should we be losing anything? We're gaining. If this isn't propaganda, I mean, I don't know what you guys think about this. Planned Parenthood is everywhere, guys. They are global. And we're going to get into the history of Planned Parenthood in a future episode, but we really need to understand how it was formed, who formed it. I think you all know about the founder, but it's like who took it over after she didn't run it anymore. And we need to talk about that kind of stuff and how did it transform into just being pro birth control to being so radical. All right, so I covered that. Here's I've got one quick one and then a final one after this.
All of these myths around sex and virginity can be so hurtful and overwhelming.
The reason I clipped that is the words. Pay attention to the words. All of these myths are harmful. All the myths about virginity are harmful. Parents, you need to pay attention to what your kids are exposed to. If they're exposed to videos like this, it's talk about what's harmful, harmful and dangerous. They really are influential. They're going to influence the kids. This is very, like she sounds very friendly. She just is very matter of fact and makes it sound exciting to lose your virginity. All right, one more.
But here's the one truth you should remember. Sex is defined by...
Wait a minute. One truth. One truth. All right. I'll play it again. Sorry.
But here's the one truth you should remember. Sex is defined by one thing and one thing only. You. Maybe that's being fingered for the first time. Maybe it's having anal sex. Maybe it's having your first orgasm. Maybe it's masturbating for the first time, or when you enthusiastically consent to sex. That's the beauty of your sexual journey. You're in charge, and you can figure it out on your own terms.
So describing all of these things to kids who may not have ever been exposed to even knowing about some of those things is incredibly troubling. And this is out there. It's out there on YouTube. There's no warning saying that it's for adults only. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me just see. Rocker Lady says it's big business to sell body parts. It's also dark and evil. It is so true. In God We Trust says, I am disgusted. God save our babies. Innocence must be preserved. Our children are counting on us to defend their innocence. Red line in the sand. No one has the right to steal this. That is very true. Moxie said, very few things leave me speechless. All right, so I'm going to bring Moxie back. We'll have some closing thoughts. I'm curious if you guys want, are interested in me continuing these segments to expose this stuff. Please say so in chat and tell me your thoughts. Moxie, what are your initial thoughts when you saw that? Heavy.
My blood is boiling.
Yeah, for sure. We need parents to be aware that they have this kind of stuff. To be honest, Planned Parenthood has all these sex ed 101 videos, and it's at the top of their playlist on YouTube. Maybe I should pull up their playlist and show you guys. So if I go to them, let's see, how do I get to their channel?
How do you know for sure if someone wants to have sex?
Someone asked us.
Well, actually, there's only one way.
Turn this off. Look at. So you go to their videos, and what's at the very, very top? What is virginity? How do I know if I'm ready to have sex? What happens the first time? Lucky. This one really got me because I'm going to play this. It's not related to sex ed, but you guys, I hope you can hear my videos okay, but let's play it.
Hi, my name is Lucky. I've had an abortion and I get gender affirming care from Planned Parenthood. I wound up in a very, very difficult relationship. And within 3 months, I found out that I was pregnant. I was like, oh no. My abortion was one of the greatest acts of compassion.
So the reason, I'm not even going to finish watching that. The reason is because she wanted to be a boy. It just makes me sick to my stomach. But that's not about indoctrination. I'm like, I saw that video. You guys have to see this. Anyway, any other closing thoughts? Something happy? Oh, I know. Hey guys, you know what we're going to do about this? We're going to fight it. We're going to fight it. Are you guys ready to fight it? We'll be digital soldiers and go spread the word. And I really want to know if you guys know parents that I can talk to. But any other closing thoughts from you, Moxie?
I'm still speechless.
Okay. Let me see. There's a comment on X. Oh, just crying. Yeah, I know.
Herbie wants you to continue.
What's that?
Herbie wants you to continue.
Okay, I will continue, Herbie. Yeah. Let's see, rock related. It's important to cover this, Nevs. They want to get the girls pregnant. Great. Market for abortions. Exactly. Because isn't it strange? They are promoting. I don't know. I have a question. They're promoting. Why are they promoting kids having sex at an early age and yet also promoting abortions?
Now that is a good question worth pondering.
Isn't it though? Do you think it's the money? So I don't know if money actually, following the money is good to find out information, but I don't know if, I think money drives the puppets, not the puppet masters. I think there's other thing driving the puppet masters because they already have money. They already have power.
There's the whole sacrifice aspect to it.
Well, there's the global agenda and is very evil. Like we're in a war of good versus evil right now. And a lot of people don't even realize it, which is incredible to me. It's incredible. So, there's definitely an agenda. I think an agenda is driving it, not money. I think money definitely drives the puppets though, for sure. The puppets are driven by money and it's sad.
It is.
Because there are some good people that are driven by money, and that's too bad. Because honestly, if they would stand up and not go along with this stuff, it could all end. It could all end. So, all right, guys. Well, with that, I guess we'll bid you a farewell. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please share it with your friends and like our video, because then it gets exposed more. The more people that give that thumbs up, it gets shown more on like the front page of both Rumble and YouTube. And if you're on X, just repost my post, please. And love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. All right. Have a good night.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright